What I did this year was create a program that the kids went through and learned about voting. But the voting project started originally with looking at your civic responsibility and your civic duties, as well as going into and learning about the political process. The ultimate goal was to vote a class president to represent our classroom. We first went through and learned about civic responsibilities. We went from there to learning about political parties, their origins, where they came from. We looked at the Constitution and the rights and responsibilities of the citizens. From there, we went into our political process of voting, how that actually occurs. I had the kids break into their own political parties. After we learned about the origins of the Republicans, the Democrats, and the Independents, I had the kids go home and talk to their parents and ask them, what are our political points of view? The kids actually made their own choices and chose their parties. So I have our Republicans who have about 14 kids in their group. I had the Independents that had 9, and then I had my little Democrats that were 5 kids in that group. And from there, the kids branched off and had 10 minutes to persuade their team to vote them as the primary candidate. So they each took their turns, and by the end of the class they had gone through and actually did their primaries, and they chose a front-running candidate. After we had done that, we went through and kind of defined what the responsibilities were going to be of the president. One of the most important components that was added to this lesson was the use of the video conferencing. Video conferencing was paramount. One of the things I really wanted the kids to get out of this lesson was persuasive techniques, understanding how propaganda is used, and understanding how to be a free thinker.
I don't plan to have someone tell me when to go. I go when I'm ready. I race after my dreams and go after what I want. But if I don't get to it in time,
kids were not
sit there and wait for it to
really
come.
reaching out to kids their own age, and they weren't even reaching out for voters that they knew.
the type
They
of
were
person
going
you
to a
need
group
to
of
be a
kids
president.
from a different
So if
school
you
that
want
they had
someone
no
who's
clue
positive
that they
and
knew,
has
and they had to
energy,
truly
I
work
trained
for their
hard.
votes.
2 years and was awarded my black belt in Kung Fu. I have learned important leadership skills like being respectful to my peers and others around me. I am also know how to be encouraging to others. These are the experience and accomplishments I have made.
The kids have gone through and learned how to actually utilize technology on a daily basis in real life settings. Because if you really think about it, any workplace is going to ask you to have presentations and ask you for leadership. Group process was amazing here. They need to learn how to advocate for themselves and how to be assertive in their communication without being frustrated. They're starting to get to a point now where they know that they have a problem and they have to look for a solution. And if they come to me and negotiate with me and say, I have this problem, I need the solution, they know that we can work together to find a win-win situation for both.